Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name's Nancy and today I'm bringing you a speed build titled Seaside Chippy. It's not exactly a particularly posh or fancy title, but for any of you who aren't from the UK and may not be familiar with the word chippy, in this context, chippy is essentially just a classic fish and chip shop. Where I'm from, up in the northwest, we call it the chippy. So you'll go to the takeaway or you'll get a chippy tea, your fish and chips, salt and pepper chips, any kind of good, fried, indulgent, tasty food. You get it from there. So basically, I was inspired to do this build because one day, simple as, I had a craving for some fish and chips. And then I got all nostalgic because obviously we're not really getting to travel or do much outdoors. And so it took me back, craving fish and chips, to, classic sort of British summers where you go to places like Blackpool or Southport or like places where there's a promenade and a beach basically. And you go there when you were a kid, you go to the fairground, you get some rock candy, and then you'd finish the day after you've been to the fair as well. That's essential. Either you're on the big Pepsi Max roller coaster or you're on the Traumatizer. Once you've done all of that great stuff, on the way home, you stop for some fish and chips. Are just a classic. And so that kind of brought me to this build today. So the style that I'm going for, it's not really a modern kind of swish restaurant. It's fairly dated. Like I'm thinking it's a family business. It's been around in this kind of like tourist area. I'm building in Brindleton Bay. By the way, if you hadn't noticed, there's some docks in the background that you'll see. And so my thought was with this build here, it's going to be, quite dated. It's not very modern. You've got those kind of slightly grotty tiles on the walls. And then in the back, there is a tacky sort of boat themed restaurant, wood floors, kind of panelled walls. Not the nicest, comfiest furniture, but it does the job. You've got people coming in and out, tourists. Either they're going to get a takeaway and then scram, or they're going to sit in and take in the views of the docks on the other side. So, quick disclaimer as well. When I recorded this speed build, I did it in sections. And during the section where I was doing decorating the inside of the entrance and a bit of the kitchen and also the outdoor seating, I don't know what happened. My computer just decided when I was editing all the footage, no, we're not going to include this. You're not going to have it in the video. It was, I don't know, it's corrupted or something, so that's not included in the video. But you've not missed that much anyway, so halfway through you'll see the video will skip a little bit and then we'll carry on furnishing from a half complete kitchen. But like I said before, nothing's missed out too much, and in the end of the video I will do a full tour so you can see everything. So as you can see here, I'm doing a little bit of the upstairs, like figuring out where this little balcony area is going to go. That's not for the public though. Well, for the people who are going to the restaurant. When I'm playing Dine Out, sometimes obviously like a sim day can fly by so quickly. And if I'm playing properly where I really want them to try and make some money running the business, by the time one sim day's done, you've not really, well, for me personally anyway, I've not made as much money as I want to make. So what I'll do is I'll say shut up shop, and then rather than have them load up a loading screen to then go home, get all their needs up, and then come back and do it all over again. With my builds, whether it's going to be a shop if you've got Get to Work or a restaurant if you've got Dine Out, I build a little room where basically they can get all their needs up personally. So they'll have a bed, they'll have their own private bathroom. So that's kind of essentially what I'm trying to do for this place here. Later on in the video, you'll see it's essentially kind of a mini apartment, so they can just stay over at night. But in terms of storyline, let's say it's a party pad essentially. So the owners here, they've got the business running downstairs, but then they'll say, because they're living in quite a destination-y seaside kind of fun area, they'll have their friends come round and just say, hey, party in ours upstairs. So you'll see later when I furnish that kind of some of the little amenities that I put in there. In terms of landscaping, there wasn't really too much to be done. I mean, the lot size isn't that big and it's surrounded by like paved streets, so for me, it kind of really did make sense to make it some kind of big, luscious place with lots of trees and lots of plants. And also when I was looking at some inspiration pics in terms of how I was gonna build it, a lot of the seaside places, it's just rows of buildings. Like you're walking down the promenade and it's just shop, arcade, restaurant, shop, arcade, restaurant. Like that's just it going all the way down. So with this, the main kind of ideas that I got for the build are basically the color scheme. Essentially, it was just classic blue and white, which I don't know. I guess you can have other colors as well. Like I'm thinking now, the main one of the main fish and chip, like the larger commercial brand in the UK, is Harry Ramsden's. I don't even know if they still exist actually. Is Harry Ramsden's still a thing? I'm sure their colors were red and white anyway, but I didn't want to go down that route of it looking like a total kind of homage to Harry Ramsden's. So I just went with the white and blue because it's like, yeah, classic seaside town. It's bright. It, yeah, that's kind of the only justification I have really for it. Oh, that was so cute, that little moment where I was just panning. I use the Sims 4 camera a lot as well when I'm building, just because that's how I've always played it. I played The Sims 1, I played The Sims 2. I didn't get a chance to play The Sims 3, and then I jumped over to The Sims 4. So when I'm building, it seems actually not quite popular to use the Sims 4 camera. Most other simmers that I watch on YouTube, they build with Sims 3 camera, which makes sense because the freedom of like sort of camera movement that you get from there is a lot smoother. But I'm a creature of habit, and I could try and adapt to using the Sims 3 camera, but then it kind of slows down my gameplay and when I'm trying to get about the place and do things. So I just switch over to their camera when I want to do things like rotate objects easier or see things from inside a room from a better angle. So as you can see here now as well, we've just jumped over, so some of the footage was missing. So essentially all I did in the front part of the takeaway restaurant, I've put in a half wall, decorated it with blue tiles, and then you've got some cabinets and a little till. So that's essentially, where you've just got the front facing area where, someone will cook in the kitchen, they'll pass through the takeaway delivery, and then you get it over the counter, and then you can run. I've put a little fridge as well, a little cooler on the side. So I mean, I don't know how people would want to play with that, but I just thought it'd be really cool if, say, like in storyline world, you've got a partnership with a local bakery, and so if you've got any baked things, you can keep them in that fridge and people can just grab them as sort of an extra takeaway bundle. Or you can put in some actually pre-cooked dishes of fish and chips or whatever you want to add to your menu and put that in there as well. I had a fridge as well later on because I was like, that's such an essential of the takeaway. I remember when I go when I was younger, you go in with your £2 from your mum. She's like, go and get some chips later for tea. And you go in and like you'd have £1 for your portion of chips and then the other £1 for like 2 cans of Coke or Fanta or whatever it is that you fancy. So I put a little cold drinks fridge on the side there as well. In this back kitchen here, you see I've played about with putting some shelvings in the corner just to, give it a slightly different look. The kitchen's not massive, but then it's not really a big restaurant either. So I've just put in the 2 cooking stations, a couple of cabinets, some like clutter items. I live for the clutter items in The Sims 4. Honestly, it just adds the perfect little homey touches and all these extra elements of realism. And that's the best bit of sort of The Sims for me, outside of obviously the gameplay of playing with families and creating all kinds of stories. It's when you're building, it can be so much more detailed now, and you can really add more. It can build on whatever story that you're playing on when you add these certain key bits of, clutter items and furnishings into the build. So we've got the entrance where you order, you've got the kitchen, and then this section here is just the waiting area essentially. So I thought again, some old kind of benches. It's not too comfy. They're not looking to update the restaurant all that much. They're just making enough to get by and just keep things flowing. Unless it's fallen to pieces, the furniture will stay. So you've got those little outdoor benches there being used, and this here is the entranceway into the, we'll call it an apartment, but it's not an apartment because I don't actually include a bed in there. Well, I've got a Murphy bed, but I don't count those as beds just because that they're a threat to your Sim's life. Like, it shouldn't be a stressful experience going to sleep in The Sims. It really shouldn't be. So I don't count it as an apartment, but it essentially kind of is. It's a little party pad. So I've played about with platforms. I've added one little platform inside here just to add a little bit something extra to the layout of the place. So it's a little bit more interesting than just a completely flat open space here. A little ledge just for people when they're going into the kitchen for the waiting staff, and this little waiting area here. So you'll come in and then the hostess will be like, "Oh, table for how many?" And you just sat there and you can kind of peek in because I'm reminiscing now about, remember when you could go to a restaurant and you do that little awkward thing of table for like for four or for two or however, and then you stood there and you start eyeing out the place. You're looking at the other tables, you're looking at what everyone else has ordered so that you can get all excited for your dinner. So that's what that kind of waiting kind of cubby area is. I can just imagine you stood there and you can see the tables, you can eye what table you hope you get, you can see through the glass doors onto the ledge if you want outdoor seating. Oh, it's really cute. I miss going out for meals. I can't wait for that to come back. Oh, anyway, digress. Let's move on to what is happening now, which is the seating table. So, I picked out loads of different tables just to work out which one I kind of liked for the room, and then I was just seeing how many tables I could fit in. Because obviously, The Sims can navigate tight spaces in The Sims 4 fairly well, but I didn't want to make it too cramped. So I was figuring out what layout would work, and then I just changed up the seats just to make it a little bit brighter. So you've got white and brown sheets, but then obviously keeping in that boat theme that I talked about earlier. It's kind of tacky, like, oh hey, you by the seaside, look, our restaurant's like being on a boat. And obviously I changed it then to this. I think this wallpaper's from Island Living actually, which is really cool because it's got that distressed wood feel as if it has been sort of affected by water soaking it or something. I really like that. So I kept that in and I just made it white so it keeps the room brighter. Now we are doing the downstairs kind of storage area essentially. It's nothing too spectacular here. It's just a storeroom, really a place for the staff when they come in. They'll just take off the coats, leave their bags there. Lots of extra stock for the kitchen. The tiki bar, I just thought it looked cool, and I thought, yeah, like maybe they just got a couple of extra, bottles of like fun cocktails or bevs that they'll be serving. So yeah, that's all it is with this downstairs area. It's like I feel like the owners will, if they've made an effort to make it somewhat comfy, just space to leave your stuff, grab what items you need for the kitchens upstairs, and that's it. It's not a fun place to like chill and hang out. This is totally aesthetic as well. I don't imagine you'd actually kind of use this room. And if anyone downloads this, you can use it for, you can change this room into anything else that you fancy. Maybe it's a vault. Maybe this place actually rakes in so many simoleons, and it's just you use that as like a secret vault to keep all the extra money and all the earnings. And then skipped over the bathroom because that's not too exciting. Again, because it's a slightly dated place, I didn't want a nice bathroom set. It looks very grim. Like, it's the kind of like downstairs toilet you'd be like, oh, if I have to use it, then I suppose I will. But you'll try really hard not to and wait till you get home. Now we're just finishing off the final sort of last bit of the build before we do the full tour, and that is the upstairs apartment slash party pad, whatever you want to have it. It's basically just a place, like I said before, for your sim to keep on top of all of their needs. So I've got a little desk there that they work from. Then I include sort of like a mini sitting area. There's going to be a dresser as well so they can change their clothes, and then the Murphy bed, which I mentioned as well. In terms of the colour scheme, it's fairly like bright and playful. That was just kind of how like I kind of felt it, like the vibes, I think, as well, because the downstairs was a bit, a bit grim. It's slightly grim. I wanted the upstairs to feel a lot more breezy and fun, so maybe obviously any money that they made from the business rather than, which sounds really terrible now, rather than invest in renovating the downstairs of the restaurant, they thought we're going to do up the upstairs and we're going to have parties and we're going to have barbecues and we're just going to, we're going to enjoy the spoils of our hard work of running this business. One other thing that I haven't included in this video, but I did do is in the corner where the office is, I actually added a bathroom because I realised afterwards, oh, if they need the toilet or they need to get showered and changed, they'd have to go all the way down to the basement and keep on washing their hands, or the kitchen, which isn't really practical. So when we go on the tour, you'll see instead when they come up the stairs, there's a little kind of landing area where I've just got a little couch, and then you'll come in along the far side of the wall, and then the bathroom will be a separate room to the left. Um, and yeah, that's it really. Noticing having to size down those massive coffee tables. I'll never understand why they're so big. Threw in the karaoke machine as well, just because I thought I don't know what else to do to fill in the space. I was struggling with what I can do. A dance floor would have been far too ridiculous. And then the last little bit is the patio kind of terrace. It's very like, European holiday. I love the gorgeous shade of orange that the tiles are. But yeah, this is wrapping up the speedboat aspect. We're gonna jump in a second and have a tour. So you'll just see, obviously, we've got a little planter, and then that's the beginning of me realizing I need to make a bathroom. So yeah, let's jump in and see the whole place. So here we are. We are at the Seaside Chippy in Brindleton Bay. Just go into this camera mode so you can get a full look of the property. The property? Who am I? An estate agent? Here we have. Ignore me. So get a look from this angle so you can see. We've got the terrace over here. And I've put in a little street sign here just because I thought it was a nice touch. Like, we're in a touristy area. That's from the City Living Pack. And, you've come out here, you've had your fish and chips. You're going to take a walk over here towards the docks. And, yeah, you just stop by and see where all the sites are. This, again, fills up the space. It doesn't look great. It can get deleted. It can get swapped out. A couple of vending machines, just to give that, again, that kind of playful kind of vibe. And then we have the seating area and just a cute little recycling bin. And then I put the palm trees in just for something to look interesting. The terrace up here in the party pad. You've got, oh, what is clipping? Oh, I thought something was clipping. They're just little clutter items of gardening. So here in these pots, I figured you could just grow some fresh parsley or basil or whatever it is that you're going to be growing, and it can be like, you can say it's a garnish. They're growing their things fresh. They catch all the fish out over here, out in the Brindleton Bay area, and then all the garnishings come from here. So it's fresh, fresh, fresh in here. Don't ask me where they get their potatoes. But yeah, so let's go inside now. We'll go into first person cam and we'll take a little walk. Okay, so we are through the doors of the Chippy. You've got a little table here with some leaflets, probably local businesses, a copy of the menu. That's the archway going into the restaurant. But if you're just here for a takeaway, you walk on up, have a little look at what you're after. There's a couple of treats over here, and over here I've included, so you got the drinks fridge, but then also this the fridge to keep in my head I was like, oh, you've got deals with local businesses, maybe you can have your sim bake some extra like cakes or any kind of bonus like little nibble treats which people can just take as a little add-on as dessert for whatever it is that they're ordering. So you stood here at the counter, you placed your order, you're waiting, and then obviously you'll see it all getting cooked in the kitchen, which I thought it's a cool little view. Then we'll head on over through here. We've got a little waiting area here. There's not much to this place here. There's not much to this room actually. It's literally just a hallway. Little fire exit sign, we're keeping things professional. That goes to the restaurant. That's the formal entrance, so that'll be the exit. So you sit here, you've got a couple of magazines, and this goes to the party pad upstairs, which we'll check out later. So you come through here. Oh, hey, I'd like a table for two, please. So, oh, these pictures are so cute as well. Like this blue and white theme, I'm kind of digging it. Not to like toot my own horn. I like this wallpaper. It's nice. So you go in, getting shown to your seat. You're in this, again, like I said, it's a somewhat tackily themed, dated restaurant. There's not much to it. So you come through here, grab a seat wherever you want. There is obviously a little small entertainment area, just as a distraction. Maybe they'll put the footy match on or something, just to keep people entertained. Through here is the kitchens, um, mirrored backsplash over here. I just thought, it looks a little bit swish. Little notebook here for when they're keeping down a note of all the orders coming through, so they can cook over here and then pass it through for takeaway, or they can cook over here and that'll be for inside. And I've only stocked some of the shelves with little items, so you can fill that up. Little notice board, hand sanitizer, because living in the times. And through here is just the storage room where we've got a fridge and some of the food. Let's head on outside. So say you wanted outdoor seating, weather's looking glorious, you want to catch a bit of the sun. Oh hey, grab a bench and take in the views. We'll head downstairs. There's a Captain Bird's Eye over here, downstairs to the basement. So if you're a customer, you've head down the stairs and you're just using the facilities here. Very dank, dated, unimpressive bathroom. It ain't cute. It's not meant to be cute. And then here is the staff room and storage. So a little safe and some files. You've got all more stock over here. This fun little bar. Maybe they serve bevs. Maybe they serve alcoholic drinks or juice, as the Sims call it. I don't know. I don't imagine they would, but it's there anyway. It looked cute in this room. And then some lockers to keep your stuff and just some storage space over there. Actually, I haven't. Behind the counters, one place I didn't actually show you. Again, sanitizer, we're keeping things clean. Just the cash register and a little sink again, just keeping things hygienic. And yeah, I just filled the shelves with a couple of clutter items just to, just cause it looks cool. You can add even more stuff to it or whatever you fancy. Let's head upstairs to the party pad now. So we come through here, not much to this room. Fish tank, crate, co-hanger. That's it. Let's go up. Got a little sitting area here. Some cute postcards. Maybe you've had, you made friends with some of the tourists and they've sent you a postcard saying, "Oh, your chippy was amazing." Like, I don't know. Has anyone actually done that? I don't know. Door here. I had to use this one just because it fit well because the space is so skinny with the railing for the stairs. I would have wanted the movie hangout door, which you can see for the bathroom, but hey ho, not much to exciting in here. Hey, it's a bathroom. Okay. Bookshelf here. Then you got the bar and the curtains. This is such a cute little space here. This is good vibes here. You got the cute little mosquito stuffed speakers there. Karaoke machine just to fill the space, but it'd be quite cool. This kind of space here, it's very communal. So you can imagine everyone stood out here. You've got the patio doors open to the terrace, so the party can spill out outside. Murphy bed unit over here. If you pull it down, obviously you can't then get to the couches, so that's the only issue with that. But then you don't really need to sleep all that much. It's just if you're playing the restaurant mode and you want your sim to catch up on sleep here rather than go all the way back home. Couches and coffee table, little cooking poster, just cars. Chest of drawers there, and then onto the terrace, balcony, whatever you want to call it. It's not much of a view in terms of looking over, but you've got your sun lounges here, little place to grill, bench, and yeah, let's see if we can check out that view. There we go, Brindleton Bay. I don't know why I'm showing you as if this is a real place, but anyway, I'm just trying to be profesh, give you the full tour of the build. So that is it. That is my little Seaside Chippy speed build. Thanks so much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope, this is, if you've liked it enough that you can be bothered, you can just download it from the gallery. But yeah, thanks for watching the video. I'll catch you guys soon for another one. Bye.